up just fills me with so much joy and happiness to reconnect with you. I know that it's been a minute since I've been on YouTube Live. For those of you who are just seeing this feed for the first time, my name is Kaia Ra, and I am the author of the Sophia Code, which is a divine feminine sacred text for our times. It's a modern mystery school curriculum that activates the divine genome within you and helps you embody the truth and the power of your own sovereign divinity. If you would like to experience previous free series that I offer, you can find recordings of the Heaven on Earth Prayer Collective on my YouTube channel at Kaia Ra Official. You can also find the 21 Days of Green Tara, which is a journey that we did at the beginning of the CV outbreak, which was then followed by the 9 Days of Magdalene. And I have such exciting news for our community. We're going to be offering another free YouTube Live series, and that starts this Monday at 1 p.m. PDT. And it's going to be 9 days of Quan Yin. We're going to be walking through the Quan Yin chapter of the Sophia Code, which is, I don't like to pick favorites, but I have to say channeling and writing Quan Yin's chapter was by far one of my most favorite chapters. And interestingly enough, one of the most challenging chapters to channel for the book, because it was so deeply moving and it was filled with emotion, and it reads like a movie. It's chapter 11 of the Sophia Code, and ultimately the story is very close to what I have survived when we meet Quan Yin in the jungle. She has fled to the jungle, and she fled there after she lost her family, as well as being raped and left to die by herself. And so we go on this journey with Quan Yin of how she moves from trauma into her divine feminine Christ embodiment, which is a very potent storyline for us to really drop into during these traumatizing times on a global scale. So many global crises that are asking for us to really look within and heal the trauma that is waiting to be loved within us, so that we can step into our spiritual maturity and really lead the way for the rest of 2020 and for the next decade, because humanity is in the process of going through a massive spiritual awakening. It doesn't look like that yet, necessarily. However, you can only suffer for so long as we are watching humanity suffer the way it's suffering, and the heightened, accelerated path of suffering that humanity is currently experiencing. Without that suffering breaking you open to the revelations of what could be a higher purpose to the cause of the suffering, and where do we find the relief, and where do we find our empowerment beyond the suffering? These are the questions that humanity is going to be asking itself over the next 10 years, because the extremities of the crises are bringing all of us into this polarizing place of either really feeling isolated, alone, and kind of losing your mind, or choosing the path of sanity, choosing that direct communion with your source, God, Sophia, your higher self, your sovereign divinity, whatever it is that you understand to be your direct connection to that light source, from which you've been given your free will, as well as given your sovereign divinity, which we talk a lot about in the Sophia Code. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because during this solstice, and with this solstice and solar eclipse kind of all tumbled together, you're rolling them off your tongue. This I love. Not that it's always the most comfortable, but I love eclipses because they are a natural phenomenon that really speak to my heart and my soul. For many of you know that I'm very connected to the Sophia dragons, and all sorts of lightning kind of energy and medicines that I believe are the medicines that we need in this time to awaken our consciousness. And so for me, solstices, equinoxes, and eclipses have always spoken to my consciousness of, okay, this is the time to get really sober, lucid, and clear about a shift that's about to happen. This is the time to get really sober and clear about how I want to embrace the shift that's about to happen. And so that's why I love doing these online gatherings. It's why I love creating online courses and online ceremonies. It's because the more consciously we step into portals such as solstices or equinoxes, the more consciously we step into the experience of an eclipse, the more that we can align with the momentum of the shift and get out of the way, clear the resistances that would keep us held back from our accelerated growth. And the more that we can embrace the accelerated transformation that really wants to help assist us to step into our highest potential. Where our unconscious knows that during eclipses and solstices, that a lot can change very quickly. I remember one year, it was a pretty heavy eclipse year. There was a lot of eclipses that year. It was like almost every single eclipse cycle, there was some major shift in the people that were working on my team and in my personal life. I just started watching and planning according to those portals, because what those portals were marking were the shifts in my own consciousness that were allowing my outer reality to keep shifting and up-leveling in accordance to how fast I was growing at that time. And I just want to encourage everyone to just enjoy this time that we're going to drop into together, to unplug from the terrifying tyranny of the media machine that's been attempting to polarize and splinter us during this election year. And as we all know, a U.S. election is an election that affects the whole world. So it's just like, let's just take this opportunity to drop into the true revolution of our shared and equal sovereign divinity that is the solution to all of these global crises. Because as we awaken to the wonderful and very enlightening good news that we can fully step into creatorhood, because that's what we have been birthed into this reality as, sovereign creators of any reality of our choosing. And with great power comes great responsibility. And what we practice in the Sophia Code Mystery School is how to come in alignment with our great power to affect great change. And the only way it's possible to affect great change is to really take the time to learn what it means to embody the crystalline light of your higher self, to embody the crystalline light of your sovereign divinity, and to begin the very real process of how to embody that sovereign light and allow it to operate your human awareness in an entirely new way than you may have been accustomed to prior to coming into that close of contact with your own divinity. When you really come into contact with the light of your own divinity, it opens your eyes and it opens your mind to remember that you are actually always in communion with your source. In the Sophia Code, we call the source Sophia. We call the source. You can call the source Holy Spirit or Great Spirit. You could call it Buddha consciousness. You could call it Christ consciousness. It really doesn't matter what you call the source. You can call it Holy Mother. You can call it Holy Father. What matters is that there's this light bulb that goes off inside of you where you identify, I can reach into that source light. I can reach into that omniscient divine consciousness at any time to receive that clear connection of relief, of support, of intelligence, of creativity, of solutions, of healing, of abundance. Like the source is the source of everything that you need, everything that we need to download into this physical reality. To birth the solutions, the new paradigms, and the new ways of relating with one another that are based that are based in the foundation of the truth of our sovereign divinity. If we were all operating from that consciousness, we would all be behaving at our highest potential every day and with one another. So the easiest name that I've ever come in contact with was when the light of God came to me and asked me to call the Divine Mother Sophia. This isn't an entity, it's not a spirit, it's not a goddess. Sophia is the light, and she is the womb that has given birth to all of creation. Within that name of Sophia, we can call upon Sophia's Holy Mother and also Holy Father in this codex. And again, all names of God are welcome here. What we are doing in the Sophia Code is we are returning back to the original source teachings in multiple lineages that create a blueprint of spiritual awakening to activate the sovereign divinity of humanity, to invite humanity into a reconciliation with the truth of its divine nature, and to support humanity through very powerful ascended master mentorship relationships that keep us in a vibrational resonance of sovereignty, where there's a field of support of these masters that have gone ahead of us, that are here to light the way before us and to protect us on all sides as we go within and explore this vulnerable terrain that is the truth of our divinity. We've been programmed for centuries to believe that there is a hierarchical order to our divinity, and that somehow we have to earn our sovereignty or our divinity. And the truth is that humanity has never needed this message of its own sovereignty more than right now. Humanity is engaged in a global as well as interstellar war that is seeking to enslave the heart of humanity and the body of humanity. And this is the lifetime that we declare no more. The worth of humanity is incalculable because we are daughters and sons of the Most High, and we have all been created as equally sovereign and divine. And in this interesting year of 2020, we are experiencing some very similar astrological alignments that we were being influenced by in 1776 during the American Revolution, when it began. So this year is a revolutionary year, and here we are halfway through 2020, and we've already experienced so many traumatic events. I feel as though so many of us, both in the US and worldwide, are simply doing our best to stay positive and faithful and above that trauma line that's constantly being pushed by the media and by these very disturbing events that have been unfolding all year long. Ultimately, what's happening is we are being pushed to the very edges of what is needing to be exposed in the underbelly and unconscious awareness of humanity. How humanity has been functioning through fear and terror and the enslavement of itself, both by other species and humans enslaving other humans. And it's time for this energy to be exposed and cleared. And so you and I have come here at this time as light workers to literally embody that Sophia Christ light, that crystalline light of our sovereign divinity, at a time where so many people are confused about their own worth. They're confused about the truth of that their soul is already free, that their soul is already liberated, and that we can actually work together and create together and birth together a new paradigm that is something completely new that we haven't done in thousands upon thousands of years on this planet. We can create from an entirely new context. But this can only happen as we each individually awaken to our sovereign divinity and then learn how to work together from that context. So what that means is, and this is why we have a mystery school, the Sophia Code Mystery School, it's like we're learning how to engage with one another without codependency overlaying how we relate to one another. We're learning how to relate to one another beyond victimhood, where we are speaking creator to creator, creatrix to creatrix. We're learning how to communicate and articulate to one another, where we understand that we are each other's teachers, and that we are each other's healers, and we are each other's mirrors for this journey of spiritual awakening, that we have something, everyone has gifts and talents and passions and dreams and prayers to share with everybody else. This is the lifetime where we learn how to lead side by side, heart to heart, and wing to wing. And I'm not talking about liberal or conservative, because that whole political pendulum, will just keep you swinging back and forth and keep you in that weird disinformation war. I am talking about sovereignty from all of the warring factions that are keeping us separated from each other. When you up level your consciousness and you go all the way back to the source, right, from which we all came, which is far beyond this planet, is far beyond all planets and all civilizations and all species, what we're tapping into is we're tapping into that one source light that we know, where everyone is loved, everyone is intelligent, everyone comes from the same mother and the same father. It's this place where we understand that no matter how unique we are in our perspectives, that we can meet each other there with compassion, and we can meet each other there with respect, and that we can create incredible miracles from that space of where we engage beyond the constant clashing that we find here on the earth plane. And to access that Sophia Christ consciousness, to access the consciousness of the Divine Mother while you are living your daily life here, here on Earth, here on the front lines of humanity's evolution, at the post office, in downtown, in the grocery store, in your family life, in your community, at your churches, in the school systems, how we're farming our food. It's just like, these are the front lines of consciousness that we are praying to download, that higher consciousness into this very physical world, without fighting against anyone or anything, by coming from a space where we have something completely new to offer beyond the centuries old dialogue of the pain, the constant pain and suffering, and the stories that are being told over and over and over again that keep us in those cycles, addicted to pain. So I'd like to read a little passage from the Sophia Code in honor of the solstice. And if you want to read with me, I'm reading from page 308 of the Sophia Code. Today, we focused on a graduation ceremony with the Sophia Dragons. I'm actually wearing the same seraphim pendant that I designed in honor of the Sophia Dragons. So I would like to read, starting at the bottom of 308 from the Sophia Code, if you'd like to read out loud with me. It's very powerful to read the Sophia Code out loud at your altar or anywhere, sacred space. We're going to start with the second to last paragraph. We know that to fulfill the prophecies of this ordained hour, humanity will need to embody the attributes of angelic dragon medicine that can be activated within you as Keycode 777. In support of humanity's great prayer for liberation, we are here to initiate the divine qualities of your golden dragon embodiment, which include radical wisdom, flexible strength, ancient magic, committed self-mastery, fierce love, and immaculate birthing. Sophia will pour through your golden dragon embodiment as you command miracles in her name. As you walk into the sun of your own divine love, you will liberate and empower the many faces, hands, and hearts of divinity that reach for your radiant reflection. You will know the master within you as both self-resourced and supported. You will confidently claim your birthright to speak miracles on behalf of humanity and command, "It is done, it is done, it is done," going forth on the immaculate faith that it is so. The Sophia Dragon lineage initiates spiritual leaders in how to safely embody unlimited creative power and steward abundant resources for serving the greatest good through the one law of divine love. We mentor your confidence for embodying sovereignty by mirroring to you the purpose and service of our own angelic dragon embodiment. As you increasingly embrace your golden dragon embodiment, many spiritual allies and lineage family members will join you in this movement. For creating heaven on earth is meant to be a shared journey, whose feasts are best enjoyed with friends along the way, celebrating Sophia's immaculate love. Be as the ascended masters who went before you, with steadfast eyes confidently fixed upon the Holy One within you. You came to earth with a radical mission to unconditionally bless the one body of Sophia Christ, regardless of all outer circumstances. Innumerable masters walk with you at this time, both in human form and guiding you from higher dimensional realities in support of your role in this spiritual revolution for sovereignty. Our unlimited dragon embodiment is an essential teaching model for activating your full potential as a sovereign creator that can effect revolutionary changes in the quantum field of humanity. Consecrating your free will to embody your higher self and fulfill Sophia's divine will for your life is a radical choice that affects the well-being of countless souls, both seen and unseen. Your courage and willingness is here to inspire a movement for being your true self is a testimony to the power of sovereignty. And that was from the revelations of the Sophia Dragons in the Sophia Code, chapter 13. So, they say, walk into the sun of your own sovereign divinity. And that's exactly what I would like to do in this brief guided meditation. They speak so much about our spiritual leadership and birthing a movement that is going to affect countless souls. And that's exactly what the Sophia Code is doing worldwide as a mystery school, as a sacred text. I'm excited to share more about what we're up to for the rest of 2020. We have our Sedona conference coming up at the end of July. And every day that we do this Quan Yin journey, the 9 days of Quan Yin, starting on Monday, we're going to be giving away a free ticket to the Sedona conference, to the live stream of the Sedona conference. So I cannot tell you how excited I am to announce that every single day. And that is going to be just an incredible experience to witness who's going to be aligned with winning those spots to the Sedona conference. And then we're also going to be sharing more about our Sophia Circle leadership. Our Sophia Circle Leadership Certification Program that starts in August. If you are considering how to fulfill your divine purpose and be a part of activating humanity's sovereign divinity, the Sophia Code is the blueprint for that spiritual awakening. And we have a program, a leadership program for how you can walk community members and clients through every chapter of the Sophia Code as a paid offering. It's a phenomenal leadership training program. It's a phenomenal training program in itself for next level divine feminine Christ leadership. And I'm just so excited that we have so much to offer for the remainder of 2020. And I'm looking forward to sharing more about that during our Quan Yin journey through her chapters. So in honor of the solstice, let's come together in prayer and guided meditation. And really drop into the momentum and power of this moment that we have gathered here today together, the opportunity that we have. So as many of you know, I enjoy invoking the Ascended Master Keycodes from the Sophia Code to begin our prayer and begin our guided meditation. And the way that we do that, which is a very powerful way of protecting yourself psychically, as well as opening the doors of reality for you to mentor these Ascended Masters from a clear, and from a clear place of sovereignty, you would visualize a circle of light around you, and there are going to be 8 pillars, 8 directions along that circle. And we're going to be invoking the 8 key codes of the Sophia Dragon Tribe that have been revealed in section 2 of the Sophia Code. The first is in the north. I invite you to welcome and invoke White Buffalo Woman and the White Buffalo Star Nation, as well as the Order of Sky Grandmothers. In the northeast, on that beautiful circle of light surrounding you and surrounding the sanctuary, we welcome beautiful and beloved winged Isis, who's key code 1 of the Sophia Code, as well as Saint Germain of the Violet Flame. In the east, I welcome beloved and radiant Hathor, key code 2 of the Sophia Code, she of 1,000 voices, and the entire Hathor Star Nation. In the southeast, we welcome key code 3 of the Sophia Code, she of 1,000 stars, Green Tara on the Order of Takinis. In the south, I welcome beautiful Mother Mary, who is key code 4 of the Sophia Code, she of 1,000 roses. In the southwest, we welcome Mary Magdalene, she of 1,000 angels, along with Ascended Master Jesus and the entire Order of Magdalena. In the west, we welcome Quan Yin and Maha-Avatar Babaji. In the northwest, we welcome our beloved Holy Seraphim, the highest Seraphim of the Divine Mother, the Sophia Dragons. Within this circle of light, I welcome you to invoke the full presence of your higher self, your own Christ light, or you could also say your own Buddha light, or your Great Spirit. What matters is that there is a correlation that your divinity is something that you can call upon as the liberator within you. And feeling the presence of that light of your higher self falling fresh upon you as a waterfall of consciousness that flows down your crown, down the back of your head, flows over your face and just kind of refreshes your face, flowing down over your shoulders and filling your heart as a chalice. You may begin to feel that beautiful light of your own higher self, filling your solar plexus, running down your lower back, filling your root chakra and flowing all the way down your legs. And as you feel this beautiful light of your own higher self flowing down your legs, I invite you to also feel that light begin to expand along the circumference of the circle, and filling that circle so that it becomes a column of light. Now that column of light can literally go up past the ceiling, up past into the sky, past the sun, moon, and stars, at the very edges of this universe and beyond, all the way back to what we call the seventh plane, that one source light from which we were all born. And that column of light that is filling your body with your higher self also can connect all the way down to the very center of the earth, the very heart of Sophia Gaia. And you may feel this beautiful consciousness of your own sovereign divinity filling your body, heart, and mind, and deeply connecting you to your body and to your connection to the earth, which is essential when you are exploring this consciousness, because this consciousness is radical, it's unlimited, it's so holy that it casts off all darkness. And if you are new to Sophia Christ consciousness, it's important to stay very grounded, and that's how you stay grounded, is how you embody this consciousness, is to stay very connected to the heart of Mother Earth. So as we feel this very powerful connection to the earth and to your higher self, I call in that Holy Spirit, that Buddhic light of the one Divine Mother, one Divine Father of all life, to fall fresh upon your awareness, to remind you of how loved you are. And may you feel this Holy Spirit, this Great Spirit, lifting any heaviness of the past week, the past few weeks, the past few months, of so many crises and so many traumas that we've witnessed in the media and in our cities and in our world, and just welcoming the presence of the masters, lifting up any heavy energies, any feelings of feeling attacked or frightened about your safety, feeling insecure about the future. Everything that you're feeling is totally natural given the outer context of what we're all facing, and it's safe to let go in this moment and allow the Ascended Masters and all the orders of the angels that are here, and of course, from which all of these blessed beings come from, which is the light of God, to feel that presence, to feel that Holy Spirit, that light of God, embracing you, holding you, nurturing you. If you need to even be cradled by that energy, I welcome it. And we can be every part of ourselves when it comes to our communion with God. Just like you need to feel like a child being held in the arms of God. Let yourself feel that. Let yourself be rocked and soothed by the Divine Mother. You need to feel, there's a consciousness, there's a mind that understands where you are at in the current chapter of your life as an adult. Just like let that consciousness of God meet your consciousness and say, I see you, I feel you, I acknowledge you, I honor you, I respect you. I know you're doing the best you can. I want to remind everyone in this space of prayer, you can tell Sophia God all of your feelings and all of your hopes and all of your despairs, and the presence of God is going to continually love you unconditionally. There's nothing that you could say or do that would ever change God's love for you. The Holy Spirit of your higher self can never be taken away from you. No matter what you've done, no matter what has happened to you, the light of your sovereign divinity is invincible to what transpires in this world. You are held, you are supported, you are loved, you are embraced, and you are being guided and mentored in all ways, especially in these times of great change, great transformation, where we are being asked to become fully present, not just partially present, fully present to every aspect of our relationship with life, to become fully sober and present to every relationship in our life, whether it's healthy for us to be in those relationships or not, where you're becoming fully present and sober to every part of your life and how it's functioning or not functioning, and what you are willing to shift with the support of this presence, this all-loving presence that's never going to abandon you as you take those vulnerable risks to become more of your true self in this lifetime. In honor of this solstice portal, I welcome all of the Keycode Ascended Masters walking us through the temple gates of our consciousness. And I invoke the spirit of the sun that our planet experiences an orbiting relationship with, because there's this incredible solstice that's happening, and as well as this incredible eclipse that is happening, whether you are experiencing the winter solstice or the summer solstice. It really is connected to your relationship with the sun. Whether it's the longest or shortest day of the year, we become acutely aware of our relationship with the sun in a physical sense. But what we received as a message from the Ascended Masters today, earlier in our Mystery School, was that our spiritual relationship with the sun is twofold. Number one, it provides a mirror for you that you can witness the brilliance of the Christed self, the Christ light within you. If you want to know how powerful and how radiant your soul really is, well, the sun in the sky is but a glimpse of how powerful you are. The sun in the sky is but a glimpse for how holy you are. The sun in the sky is a glimpse for how bright you are. Secondly, what I have discovered in my own journey with the Ascended Masters is that any true planetary ascension eventually leads to the merger of a sun and a moon, of a planet and a star, no longer having an orbiting relationship, but merging together as one. Now, this happened in the Syrian star system that we record in the Sophia Code with Green Tara's planetary ascension. And I've also witnessed the same phenomenon in other civilizations that I work with. So let's think about that as the iconography of that. The sun that nourishes a planet, the sun whose light is what gives life to the physical beauty and the abundance of that planet, merging with the metaphysical architecture of a planet, coming together as one. What's so interesting about that is the source of life and the container of the life are recognizing that they're actually one whole system. And so that's what we're stepping into when we identify and we recognize the truth of our sovereign divinity. We are choosing to merge with the source of what gives birth and function and physicality to our human experience. You're just like Mother Mary in her initiation, the Sophia Code, shares extensively, and so does Hathor and her chakra, the Sophia Code. Isis, they share extensively how your physical body is actually a downloaded reality from the source of your soul, your higher self and your oversoul. Like you are magnetically and very magically being held together by your own sovereign divinity, by the very light of who you are as a soul. And so when we are standing at this solstice eclipse passage, eclipses especially are a reset for the consciousness. And what my prayer is for us today is to reset our consciousness to this concept that the sun of our sovereign divinity is truly merging with the earth of our human embodiment. And that the more consciously aware that we can become of this merger that's happening, we are pre-paving the way for humanity's ascension and for Sophia Gaia's earthly ascension into the solar Christos consciousness in this particular part of the multiverse. This is what all of the dark agendas are attempting to keep us from an awareness of, that we are becoming closer and closer to a global spiritual awakening where we all identify that this one source light that loves us and created us equally as Christed beings is guiding all of us to remember who we really are. And if enough people wake up, it creates a collective ripple throughout the quantum field of humanity, as the Sophia Dragon share with us in the Sophia Code. There's such a massive quantum ripple effect across the collective consciousness of humanity, that no matter how many lies or agendas or assaults are perpetrated against humanity, the awakening will be too powerful to deny. Too many people will become educated way showers of Sophia Christ consciousness. This is how we are learning to work as the one body of Sophia Christ. Through our individual awakenings, we are all awakening as another cell in the body, the one body of humanity and the one heart of humanity. Now, I'd also like to remind each and every one of us that although you are in a human body, your soul is infinite and unlimited. And as you read in Hathor's chakra of the Sophia Code, as you read in all of their chapters, there's an understanding that you are existing in many parallel lifetimes simultaneously, as well as in many forms simultaneously. So being human isn't the only form that you've existed in, nor ever will. This is the lifetime where you absolutely need to draw from different gifts and talents and perspectives and perceptions from many other lifetimes that are not bound to this planet. During a solstice, during a solar eclipse, it is possible the veils become thinner and you can start to feel across your electrons and access more clearly the wealth of information that's available to you through your own oversoul, sending you that biofeedback of how unlimited you really are in this particular world of form. So I would like for each of us to just relax into this moment to receive a transmission directly from the sun. Within your circle of light, visualize walking right into the center of the sun, where these beautiful ascended masters are here to greet you, to bless you, and to anoint you. Feel the fiery golden rays all around you. You may begin to feel the heat of the sun burning through every cell of your body, but yet somehow there is a comfortability within that presencing within the center of the sun. There is a divinity within you that is recognizing the divinity within the sun. There is a mirror effect happening that feels wonderful to the mind and wonderful for the heart. Baptism by fire. And at this time, I'm witnessing the Sophia Dragons, these beautiful holy seraphim angels that are, one is the two that are coming forward. You can meet within the Sophia Dragons, Keycode 777, initiation within the Sophia Code, and that is the Seraph, the angel of sovereignty, and the Seraph, or angel of truth. And as you feel these beautiful Sophia Dragons, they're these iridescent white Sophia Dragons that are spiraling around you within the center of the sun. We invoke your higher self and the entire Sophia Dragon Tribe to assist your body with any upgrades, any divine genome activations, any clearing of karmic debris that's ready to be released within the center of our sun. And as you allow, just take 3 deep breaths together. Let's just allow this quantum healing to unfold with the Sophia Dragons. You may be aware of how joyful they feel in your presence. They are so honored to be a part of the mirroring process for you to awaken to how brilliant and radiant you really are. Breathing in, releasing out. Breathing in, releasing out. And I invite you to allow those very fiery rays of the sun to continue to penetrate any deeper layers of unconscious wounding or pain that's just ready to be released in the solstice. I'm also witnessing that there are ancestors around some of the people attending this call that would like to be released through this sacred Sophia portal within the center of the sun to go back directly into the heart of Sophia. So if you've recently lost any loved ones that have crossed over the other side of reality, but they've been maybe stuck between different realities, this would be a wonderful opportunity to bless any of your loved ones that have crossed over and to watch them travel directly back into the heart of our one Mother Sophia God. And I'm also witnessing this liquid golden life force being poured in through everyone's crown chakra. So I invite you to open up their crown chakras at the top of your head. For those of you who have your angel wings activated, you're also going to feel that golden liquid from the sun being poured down the tips of your angel wings and then running into the back of your heart center. I'm loving how this feels. It's a little fiery and hot, like hot oil, but I am into it. I don't know about you. I'm feeling it. And then if you haven't activated your angel wings, no problem. You can read the Mary Magdalene Initiation Sophia Code. And we also have an Activate Your Angel Wings video on my website, kaira.com. No worries. Go ahead and check. You can check that out after this transmission. So feeling that beautiful golden life force that is this kind of anointing, this solstice, solar eclipse anointing, and allow that beautiful solar golden anointing energy to flow all the way down. It's like a sheath of energy that flows down your arms, flows down your heart, down your back, the back of your legs, filling your stomach almost with this golden honey. all the way down to your feet, coating you with, okay, thank you. But I'm hearing from the Ascended Masters this beautiful neurological protection from the level of traumatic events that are happening right now. And this is part of what we talk about from Ephesians in the Bible, putting on the full armor of God, like sustaining ourselves and creating very healthy emotional and spiritual boundaries for ourselves as we are in this world, but not of this world, as Jesus teaches us, that so that we can remain in a constant communion with our source of divine love, our source of power, our source of abundance, our source of health and vitality. No matter what the rest of the world decides to believe for itself, we know what is the truth of reality. And the truth of reality is divine love, and that God will never give up on us, and that the presence of Sophia God is always with us in all circumstances. So from this beautiful space of feeling of both clearing and up-leveling and radiance, I welcome you to feel the presence of the Sophia Dragons inviting you. There's a dragon that is inviting you for you to just rest upon its back, as it's going to travel and bring you back to your human body. We can't stay in the center of the blazing sun for too long because I've got to go, number one. And number two, I want to make sure that you're really grounded and you're going to bring this energy back into your body, because that's what we teach in this mystery school. Touching into these very powerful aspects of God consciousness and anchoring them within your human body, allowing this consciousness to activate your divine genome, allowing this consciousness to anchor in every cell of your body and begin to operate your awareness to make new choices based on the truth of your sovereign divinity that's going to affect how you engage and relate with others and with this world. And so as you travel on either the seraph of truth or the seraph of sovereignty, and ask yourself, why did I choose the seraph of truth, or why did I choose the seraph of sovereignty? And really be with that Sophia Dragon today as you travel through the Solstice and Solar Eclipse portal, and feel yourself returning now on the back of the Sophia Dragon and descending back fully into the full presence of your human body. And it is commanded by the power of our collective I Am presence that these solar transmissions from the Ascended Masters and the Holy Seraphim are now integrating on all four levels of your being now, on your physical body, in your emotional body, in your mental body, and all of your spiritual light bodies, all the spiritual causal bodies that are now integrating and aligning and grounding and anchoring within your human form. And as you return fully into your human body from that space of meditation, every cell of your body might feel a little ripple of those solar flares. And that's just a reminder to you that you really have touched into an aspect of your own Christ consciousness that is up-leveling your human awareness and your human embodiment over this weekend. And so at this time, we just ask for the support of the Ascended Master Mentors, all of the Keycodes, to be with you over the next 24 hours to gently and deeply guide you, to help you navigate during such intense times, to feel the presence, the peace that passes all understanding, to feel that all-loving presence of the Divine Mother and Divine Father that is protecting you in all ways, as well as your family, and to trust that our collective sovereign divinity is truly blazing a new trail, planting the seeds of a spiritual revolution that's going to activate the sovereign divinity of humanity for the decades to come. Like, you and I are here to birth the Sophia Code movement, to hold up this solar mirror to the heart of humanity, of what our true worth really is, what our true inheritance really is. We don't have to buy this propaganda. We don't have to buy these wars anymore. We are here to plant the seeds of heaven on earth, and we are here to tend to those gardens, to build those temples of heaven on earth with our own two hands, with our wings up side by side. And I want to thank you for this opportunity to touch into that holy fire that we are, to touch into that holy light that we are together, here on YouTube Live. And let's begin that journey of Quan Yin together starting on Monday at 1 p.m. PDT. We're going to be doing those amazing giveaways for the Sedona conference that's coming up at the end of July. We're going to be traveling through one of my favorite chapters of the Sophia Code. And if you have any questions about anything that I've shared here today, feel free to reach out to my team angels at contact@kaiara.com. That's KAIARA.com. And it's so easy for us to set up a time to have a call with you, a free angel call, where you can learn more about the Sedona conference. You can learn more about our Sophia Circle leadership certification program that's starting in August, where you can run in person as well as virtual Sophia Circle journeys through the Sophia Code, which is just such an incredibly powerful offering. It's such an incredibly powerful way to be serving side by side with us in this international movement. I just feel so blessed that we got to hang out today and be together in this consciousness and step into the sun of our shared divinity, heart to heart. Thank you for all of your loving support across the heart waves. It's been just such a challenging time for all of us, but I know that the more that we gather, the more that we continue to deepen in the Sophia Code teachings, the stronger and stronger we become at reconciling and reclaiming our divine inheritance, both for ourselves, for our children, our future generations, and for this planet. My God, for our beloved, beautiful Mother Earth. So I will see y'all on Sunday for the Heaven on Earth Prayer Collective. Feel free to join our mailing list at kaira.com if you'd like to join us for that transmission. And then we begin our Quan Yin journey on Monday. See you then, angels. I love you all so much. Namaste, happy solstice, and Sophia blessings through this solar eclipse. Oh, and please comment and subscribe if you've enjoyed this transmission. Thanks. Bye.